Hello everyone. So today I want to make a video talking about something I've been sort of thinking about, and probably because I've been spending a lot of time doing it. So for those of you who might not know, I actually do like Super Smash Brothers, and I do like to play the Super Smash Brothers video games. And I'm well aware of the changes it had over the years and how a lot of mechanics changed, and pretty much, even though it's called Super Smash Brothers, no two Super Smash Brothers games are alike. All the physics change and all the games feel different. And basically, I'm making this video to talk about one that's technically not even an official Smash Bros. Game, but it might as well be one. And that is Project M. I really like Project M, and I wanted to talk about what that was for me. Now, I do consider myself a competitive Smash player. Now, for those of you who are going to take that the wrong way, I'm not like one of those crazy ass people you see, especially on Facebook, who go mentally insane if you don't play up to their standards, aka be at tournament level. And there's stupid people who freak out and say you should stop playing Smash Bros. If you don't play at that skill level, and I'm not like that. That's just stupid, pathetic, and pointless behavior. I'm competitive in the sense that, well, I'm a competitive person. I like to win, I like to beat people up in fighting games, and I like to watch their characters die. I like to win. And I, sadly though, have not been able to ever do that with Project M against a person. Because, well, for one, it's dead, so no one's really playing that anymore, and if they are, it's, only at like local tournaments that are really just not where I live. So basically, I couldn't get into multiplayer Project M even if I wanted to. Even back when it was still popular, I wasn't able to, because again, back where I live, we don't have video game tournaments, we don't have any of that crap near where I live, so I couldn't get into actually fighting someone one-on-one even if I wanted to. But one thing people tend to do is compare Project M to Melee and compare Project M to Brawl, and rightfully so. That's because Project M is short for Project Melee. It was trying to make Super Smash Bros. Brawl have the same physics and feeling of Melee, which I appreciate because I actually really like Melee, and in many cases I prefer Melee over Brawl, and it just feels better. And I'm not saying that from a super bias, like I'm one of those crazy pro Smash Bros. Competitive players. I'm not. I'm competitive. I just don't go to the tournaments because they don't have that near me. I'm not at the level of tournament level skill and all that crap. But anyway, the point is, I love Project M, and it really is true what people say about it, that Melee feels just more fast than Brawl. Another word I hear get tossed around is natural. The characters just feel more natural when they move. The animation just feels more like, they're moving just on their own, so to speak. The movement feels like the characters should. Like if Bowser is big and heavy, he feels slow when he moves, and a nice effect that's added in Project M that, as far as I know, is not in Brawl or even Melee, is when Bowser moves, the camera kind of shakes a little bit, like he's shaking the area itself as he walks, almost like he's setting off an earthquake, and I thought that was a really nice effect. So little things like that, I just love about Project M, the attention to detail, and the fact that a lot of the classic stages are recreated in Project M, like Hyrule Castle from Super Smash Bros. 64 and Saffron City from Super Smash Bros. 64. They're all recreated in HD in Project M 3.6. I have 3.5, but I have the data of 3.6, and I got it right before the website shut down. so I can always upgrade it to 3.6 if I want to. And I just really, wish that Project M was still going, and it's really sad that it stopped. But I heard, this, don't quote me on this. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is a fact. I'm just saying this is something that I heard. I heard supposedly one of the reasons why they had to stop is because Nintendo got involved. And they were about to, they didn't, but they were about to send a cease and desist, if I remember right. Like they were, basically getting to that point where Project M was going to get in some hot water, and the dev team pretty much had to stop everything, or else they were about to get in trouble with Project M, and they were about to get in trouble with Nintendo. So that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but seeing how Project M is such a gray area, I could totally see that being legit, because that is still using copyrighted IPs. That is still technically, taking in a Nintendo game and tweaking it and improving upon it, so much so that you got Nintendo's attention. So, I can sort of see why they went after them. But at the same time, I don't like it because I love Project M. I feel like Project M is what Brawl should have been. Project M is the sequel to Melee we never got. And Super Smash Bros. 4 is like the distant cousin. Because there are some competitive aspects to Smash 4, but it's not near to the level of Melee. So it's like sort of there, but not really. Whereas Brawl was completely the beginner-friendly Smash Bros. Game. So I guess I'm just saying that I just love Project M, and I wish that it didn't leave. I wish that it was still going. And it technically still is. The original dev team may have split. The original idea for Project M is gone, but it's still being expanded upon. I go to Brawl Ball and I see that there's like Project M XL edition, where they make the cast even bigger, or Project M, I don't know, God, what was the other one? I saw something, I think it was like Project M Expanded Edition, where it's like the XL edition but has even more random stuff in it. So things like that, where fans are taking the final version 3.6 and expanding upon it even more. It's cool, and I never got to get into the competitive aspect, like of actually playing against other people. But one thing Project M did allow me to do, which I thought was awesome, was go to Brawl Ball and actually add in characters that I thought would be cool to get into Super Smash Bros., especially around the time of Brawl. Or just flat out change some of how the characters looked and how I didn't like the way they looked in Brawl, and I can actually edit and tweak them in Brawl Box and make them look the way I wish they did officially, but they don't. So it's cool. Project M, in that sense, was for me a model editor, and I could actually make the models look the way I wish they did. And that's something I thought I could never ever do, and now I can. So it's really cool just getting all these characters that I wished were in the game, but they're not. Like Midna, her imp form, Midna's true form from Twilight Princess. Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes, getting him in there. And editing Zelda to look more accurate to the way she looks in Twilight Princess. And I already know, because I've already talked about this like tons and tons of times on the internet. But most people don't realize that Zelda in Super Smash Bros. Brawl isn't as accurate as she could be. People will tell me, oh, but that is Twilight Princess Zelda. Yeah, to an extent. The basic design is her. They got, the braid and the crown and the dress and the jewels, but the face is really, really, really off. The hair is really off in certain aspects too. So, unless you're good at spotting detail, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to see it. But I did, and plenty of people who were good at spotting detail like me did too, but they just either didn't care to my level or they didn't like Zelda. So I was all on my own, and I just edited Zelda the best I could, and I got her to look as close as I could to the official Twilight Princess model. So that's what Project M was for me. It was more of a model editor, and it was cool. I really wish I could have played Project M at a competitive level, but I couldn't. but it's still fun, and I wish I could have, I don't know, just played it more the way it was intended, like turbo mode and all those other cool modes. But see, here's the thing. I'm playing that now on my Wii U. I originally played Project M on my Wii, and my Wii just couldn't take it anymore. It began to crash over and over and over as I played Project M. And it just got to the point where I couldn't even read the disc of Brawl anymore, and I had to go buy another disc. I had to go buy Brawl again just to go play Project M. So that's the thing with me. Project M has been a really kind of bumpy ride for me. I've been there since the beginning. I got some of the earliest updates all the way up to now, and it's sad. It's sad to watch it die. It's sad to know that it is dead, you know. But I've had a rocky ride with it. I guess I should have first of all explain also, you know, in this crazy long video, how I even got it. It was actually because of my best friend, who lived in the same state as me before he moved away, and he actually introduced me to Project M. So Project M is really cool because, you know, it has a lot of like history with me and my best friend, and he's the one that actually helped get Project M set up for me. Now I know you might be thinking, oh, it's just transferring files from what you download into your SD card. It's not that hard. Yeah, it's not that hard, but it took me 5 tries just to get it to work on my Wii. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Technology hates me. What's easy for other people is hard for me. It's like I'm jinxed, it's like I'm cursed, it doesn't work for me. Installing Project M is just transferring files to an SD card, but I had to do it 5 times for it to work on my freaking Wii, okay? So it's not easy for me. But then my Wii just stopped playing Project M, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to take a risk and see if I can get it on my Wii U. And I'm hoping that doesn't crash the Wii U, because I have had issues like that before with my Wii, and, you know, I just had the worst luck with Project M. And Project M actually has crashed on my Wii U before. But that's because of technical issues, like how Brawl, you know, Project M runs on Brawl, the Brawl engine or whatever. It can only handle up to a certain amount of resolution for the textures, and if you set it up too high, then it crashes the game. Or if the model is too high poly, too high detail, that can also crash the game. So just little technical things like that. But other than that, it was fun, it was cool, and I loved being able to put characters in it like Sora and just other characters that I wish were in the game, like Neku Sakuraba, rest in peace, because The World Ends With You is a dead IP. Square Enix is doing God knows what now, so yeah, they clearly don't care about The World Ends With You. But that was the cool thing about Project M. You could do basically anything you wanted, and that's what really kind of introduced me to modding through my best friend. Through Project M, I got to learn about this other side of video games, and it was cool. I got to learn more about modeling and just kind of like this sort of backstage pass sort of like way of seeing a video game. You're actually getting to now kind of experiment with the models, edit the models, and get more of an idea of what it's like to sort of create the character, you know, and it was cool. It was cool. So Project M for me was more of a learning experience, and I miss it. I wish Project M was still going. I wish there was like a 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0. It just kept going and going, but that's not the case. And I'm gonna miss Project M a lot. So this is finally going away. Hope you all enjoyed my little ramble about Project M, and I will see you all next time. Bye.